Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It would seem that Harry is begging for Prince William's mercy or Prince William's forgiveness. I think there definitely has been a lot of tension and fracturing in the relationship. I don't think that Prince Harry and Prince William have really been talking for the duration of Harry's marriage. I think after everything got really dark with Meghan and Harry, especially in the very early stages, because as soon as they got married it kind of went south extremely fast, and they started their moaning and whining and complaining and really breaking with royal protocol and royal tradition. They're meant to have the stiff upper lip. They're not meant to do that. I think that Harry is possibly begging his way back to the royal fold. So I came across this article by The Sun, which is another paper that Meghan and Harry have banished and said they will not be communicating with. And it says a royal source says the brothers have been chatting on the phone after their father's battle with COVID. I think that there's some truth in this, but I do think that Harry went to William essentially as some kind of insurance policy. I don't think that Prince Harry got the deal that he thought he was going to get when him and Meghan decided to step down. I think that they have an inflated sense of self-importance. I think that he's in a difficult place right now. Emotionally, I think he's definitely isolated where he is with Meghan. I think that he's been absorbed into an LA lifestyle, which a lot of people have commented on, saying that Harry has been Americanized by Meghan. I think it was a lady called Montague who mentioned that Harry's been Americanized, and she's a member of the actual royal family, who I'm going to cover in a separate video. And I think that he is longing for that connection with his brother, longing for that sense of comfort, and is trying to mitigate the damage if everything doesn't work out with Meghan. I think William, on the other hand, has made up his mind. I think that he was initially heartbroken by witnessing what his brother was doing with Meghan, making the family look cheap, making them look tacky in the eyes of the public, making the UK look pathetic, making us look bigoted. And it was only compounded by the BAFTA award ceremony when Joaquin Phoenix jumped off the plane, accepted his BAFTA, and then he infamously said that us as white people essentially are very good at awarding ourselves. And this all went down on a public stage, and we know that there has been the race row. The race row was pretty much fresh with Meghan having stepped back. He came down and he only made it even worse. Then there was Brad Pitt's reference to Prince Harry and Meghan divorcing essentially from the royal family, and the way in which he can really connect with that because he has been going for a divorce. We know with Angelina Jolie, they had a nasty separation. It was publicly played out. It was embarrassing, wasn't it, for the two of them to be hashing this out? But if you're a public figure, you can't really avoid it. You're in a relationship with that person and you bring the media along with you and the circus along with you, and that is that. Harry and Meghan have not really shied away from bringing negative media attention to their storm. William looked very disappointed, but he definitely looked like he was taking it on the chin, and he definitely looked like he was going to make changes. And he said that at the BAFTA Awards in front of Kate, that he will be definitely looking at the lack of diversity and looking at the lack of inclusivity at the award ceremony to make sure that all types of genres and cultural backgrounds are acknowledged, and actors and actresses from all different races are brought into the fold and not left out when they have produced just as good a piece of work as anybody else. But that is by the by. I think William has been struck. He's been struck at the heart quite a few times. If you think about it, over the last 3 years, it's been a really difficult time for the royal family in general, and I'm not going to state the obvious. I get loads of comments on my videos by various people who watch my channel and say, why don't you talk about this person? Why don't you talk about that person? And you know who this person and that person is. It's like the elephant in the room. A lot of YouTubers do not talk about those people because you do actually get penalized for doing so because it's deemed as a sensitive matter. So you will not see many YouTubers wasting their time and energy talking about something that is only going to hurt their channel in the grand scheme of things. There's no point, it's a waste of time. And I guess that does fly in the face of freedom of speech. But William has had a really difficult time. I think Kate has had a really difficult time watching it go down. She is a very modest, humble, quiet character. She's been forced to be brought out of her shell due to the drama that's going on and the pandemic. There's a lot of pressure in that household, I think, for William and Kate. I do think that this is the most pressure their marriage has had to withstand. And I think that Harry is trying to ensure that his brother doesn't completely strip him of everything or push for him to be stripped, because we know now that William, obviously he's a senior member of the royal family, he hasn't given up on his duties, he's very much passionate about his culture, Queen and country and everything, which is a beautiful thing to see, because so many people lack morals nowadays and just don't care about their culture and their history and their dialect, and they just want to be mainstream. So it carries on to say the pair are now said to exchange regular calls as they repair their strange relationship, which became more and more tense amid rumours of a Fab Four rift and Megxit. I think during the duration between Meghan and Harry making that embarrassingly ridiculous documentary in South Africa and them actually leaving, I believe that there was no communication between William and Kate and Meghan and Harry. And Harry actually did share that with us, didn't he? He said, oh, you know, it hasn't been the same since I married Meghan. I guess he was just being honest. He was really unfiltered, wasn't he? They was both unfiltered. They embarrassed themselves, you know. That's what essentially they did. I think that William was really disappointed. I think he felt that Harry should have known better and he didn't, and that's what has happened. I don't think William has time for Harry. He also made a reference to Harry, and I think this was a mocking, which I'm probably going to bring up in a separate video if I haven't already. And he wrote an open letter to a foundation that was founded in memory of their mother regarding anti-bullying. And he referenced Harry, and he said, you know, this is a foundation that me and my brother strongly support, anti-bullying. And we know that Meghan is going to be, if she wins, I don't see how she's going to win, but if she wins this court case against the Associated Press, she's going to be donating it to an anti-bullying charity, which is just a mockery. It's like, really? You was bullied? Someone wrote a couple of stories about you and you're bullied? Really? Come on, please. It carries on to say here, there have been clearly some quite major rifts in that relationship. They have done video calls together, allegedly. They've done a lot of family birthdays, and I think with Prince Charles not being well, that really encouraged the brothers to pick up the phone. The driving force behind that is that Prince William, 37, who is desperate to ensure his younger brother retains a role within public life moving forward. I think this has probably been said to make William look more amenable and kind, and I think William is a really kind, rational, balanced person. He definitely takes his time. He is not as emotionally driven as Harry. He's getting on with it. They haven't publicly spoken, him or Kate's publicly spoken about their disappointment with what Meghan and Harry have done. There's been no acknowledgement. It's just been do the royal duty, serve the country, serve the people, uplift their spirits, attend to the charities, raise the money, do what they're doing and get on with it. But I don't think that William has time for Harry. He has a lot on his plate. The void that Meghan and Harry have left is a large one, especially now with one of the biggest crises going on since World War II. So I don't think Prince William really cares about what Harry's doing at this point. He's got bigger fish to fry. I think Harry, on the other hand, is concerned with what William's doing. He's kind of like the the person who, for instance, you're dating someone, they dump you, and then they're checking up and spying on you and checking out to see what's going on. So we see this mirroring behavior where they're starting to reach out to these charitable organizations, like, oh, they're doing Zoom calls, we're gonna do Zoom calls, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna up you, we're gonna run around and deliver meals, and it's kind of like everyone was meant to be really devastated and affected by them leaving, and Harry's probably realized actually no one cares. This is, I don't know. I think their relationship is broken, but for the face of the royal family, they have to put out there that they are communicating. But we know better, don't we, guys? We know that if we was William, we would not be bothering with Harry either. I certainly know I wouldn't. Carries on to say that the same close relationship that they did when they were growing up, or indeed just a few years ago. So that was basically, they don't have that close relationship that they had even before this marriage. And it's true. They had it was very touching when William walked down the aisle with Harry and sat beside him, and he was joking with him. He seemed really happy that his younger little brother had found happiness. He seemed really excited. And then flash forward to the Commonwealth Day celebration, Megxit, the famous Megxit, which, she managed to make everything about her. We saw the disappointment and the sadness and the way in which William and Kate looked very uncomfortable, glum and sad for Meghan and Harry that they've had made this decision to essentially step back and leave. So it was a complete different emotion, from being really happy for him to being really sad that he's chosen to take this really tragic, dark path of his life when he could have just been happy and gotten on with it. Carries on to say, he and wife Kate Middleton, 38, have stepped up after Prince Charles was forced to self-isolate. After his COVID diagnosis, the Queen is also expected to remain at Windsor for several months. This has seen a burden of responsibility fall on William's shoulders, a weight which would more likely have been shared with Meghan and Harry. And we know that would have been the case. They was meant to be here, but they couldn't be bothered. A source added, Harry is acutely aware that the timing of his decision probably couldn't have come at a worse time. Acutely? It's a nice way of saying it. It's the worst time in the human history. Carries on to say, but once the wheels had been set in motion, there was never any chance the timeline of his exit would change. So he'd gone too far. I think it was, we want to leave, and then they got kicked out. I don't think it's a case of, oh my God, we want to leave, we've got to carry on with. I think they just, once they'd done that, especially the whole sharing everything on Instagram, they got kicked to the curb. And I think that's what these phone calls are about. It's about Harry trying to see, is this a restand? Oh, so I can't really, am I done? Yes, Harry, you're done. Done. That's what I think William's telling them. Stop calling me. I'm busy now with everything that's going on. Bye. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. So that's just a little video update for you guys. And I'll be back with another video. Bye, guys.